Donc lorsque je flingue, c'est toute ma putain de nation qui flingue avec moi. Tu vois ce que je veux dire?
Welcome back, everyone. Put up with 3 rounds. Coach Terry, Jab University. How you been, man?
Been pretty good, man.
A lot of things have happened. We had the International Invitational last week. A lot of boxing, a lot of great boxing from all the country. How many countries participated? Was it 15?
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a good amount. A lot of them already qualified for Paris, so it's kind of like it serves like just like a prep kind of tournament preparation just to get ready for Paris. It's less than 100 days now, so we're getting there. We're getting there. So, but there's a lot of other things that happen. I want to get your take on it before we jump on probably the topic that everybody's talking about. What did you think of Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney? They went down, threw down and did their thing Saturday night. What were your thoughts, man?
I felt like Ryan beat Haney with one punch and one punch only. I do feel like Ryan's attempt at a shoulder roll is technically passive behavior because you present the back. And therefore your opponent has no choice but to foul if they want to hit you.
Right.
I felt like when Haney was jabbing, he was doing okay, winning rounds. He don't hit very hard at all.
That's what it looks like.
Power. I think they had a game plan and that fizzled out.
Yeah.
No real adjustments there. Ryan won, but I'm by no means a Ryan Garcia fan. You know what I mean? Even the other 140s, I think Devin might be the least of them, with the exception of maybe Pitbull. I think he'll definitely outbox Pitbull. Teofimo, depending on how much trash you talk, is how he gets up for a fight. So,
right.
But that Subriel Matias, they might want to. I think the only person that can beat him at 140 is actually Teofimo. And that's a big if,
Yeah. It was, I'm sure a lot of people lost money because everybody didn't think Ryan Garcia was going to win. And he did he did what he said he was going to do. I don't know if
he had lost some steam after that first round. It seems like
there was a lot of gaps.
He rocked them in the first round. They lost some steam, was getting outboxed, seemed to be deteriorating, and then he hit him again and it hurt him, and then it kind of went downhill from there. So.
Yeah, he got tagged. We've seen Devin Haney go down. He did get up though.
Every time. He's game. He's a good game dog.
Yeah. He goes in there. A lot of people are saying the 3-pound was a big issue. If you're one of the pound for pound, I think you should be able to figure it out. But hey, either way, I think they'll do it again. I don't know what the rematch clause is.
I really don't.
No?
There was no rematch clause.
Oh, there was not. Okay,
but I don't think that because he said he can't make.
Yeah, he did say 40, it would have to be a catch weight or something like that.
I think that was Devin's second fight at 40, maybe. Yeah. So if he can't make 40, 47 is the option.
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford has not moved to 54 just yet.
Yeah.
Boots is still there at 40. 47 is a very dangerous place. Always has been, always will be. That is where Oscar De La Hoya hung out. That is where Felix Trinidad hung out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 47, Tommy Hearns. 47's always been a very, very dangerous and deep weight class. You might want to tread lightly going there.
Yeah, because we know when he does get tagged, he does go down. So, but that was a big fight over the weekend, and it went unexpectedly the other way. Real quick, we had Nathan Lugo did his debut out in Atlanta. He got that first round KO. I thought it was a matter of time. I think the actual knockdown, like the opponent was kind of turning his head. So I've been hearing people say maybe it was in the back of the head. I'm like, it was a matter of time.
Here's the thing, you can't present that target if a punch is already. So the rule is if a punch is traveling at the time of the turn, you can't call it a foul because it was,
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
rightfully so. It wasn't. He kind of went on the ropes, and that was it. So that's the beginning, and we'll see how that goes. But let's get back into the amateur fold. We had a lot of boxers. I want to see the list of boxers that they put out there. Of the roster was like, what, 20 boxers maybe that were in the list. Some of them did not compete. I see Roscoe's name on the list, but he didn't actually compete. So I'm not sure what happened there. We had 3 boxers at 54 in the female division for some reason. So that's what we have. And then we had some weight classes where we only had one boxer, like Keon Davis at 71, because Amari already qualified. But let's go ahead and just kind of go through these brackets, only elite that competed, and just kind of have a sense of what we thought going in. Elite female 50 pounds or 50 kilos, 50 pounds. 50 kilos. We had two U.S. boxers competing, Jennifer Lozano and Alexis Ramirez. Yu Wu out of China actually ended up coming out on top of the whole bracket. But I mean, did you get a chance to see?
I saw Jennifer's first fight, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I saw her first fight. She did very good. She's settling into. Remember, for a while she was not winning or placing or advancing in the international competition, but she was dominating in the U.S. Now she can do both. She can place in medal internationally because she placed in medal at the Pan Am. She secured her Olympic spot, and then she medaled here. She looked good in that very first fight, the one I actually got a chance to see. So, like, proud of her, impressed. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things I did notice that I'm sure they'll start kind of, especially in the second bout. I did see the second bout against the English boxer. English boxers are, man, they're long, they're on their toes. And you start seeing, when you see a lot of the tournament, you'll start seeing that footwork. You start seeing that, up in front, up on the ball of their feet. They're just going in and out. And I happened to see just Lozano kind of in the center. And it seemed like she was kind of more following the opponent just because they're jumping all over the place. And I think that kind of works into their hands as far as being able to set up counters or setting her up to be in a specific location. But overall, I thought she did good. I think she'd probably be the first one to tell you that she wanted gold instead of I think it was bronze that she ended up coming away with. But good to see her competing. I want to say that's the first time since Pan Am's, right? That we've seen her compete at the. So that's it's a long stretch. Get some of that rust off before July comes around. Lexis, this was her first. Correct me if I'm wrong. First tournament for Team USA internationally. She was competing against Savannah Stubley out of Germany, or not Germany, Great Britain, GBR. I thought she did good. I think she has, how we say pro style. I think her pace in the beginning was slower, and by the time she was, landing 1 or 2 punches, her opponent was already at 4 or 5. You know what I mean? So that in the amateur game, that you can't do that. But the last round, which is the one that she did win, she just kind of was countering. Like she looked so much fluid and calmer in there, and won the round. I think if she would have started in that mode, she would have had a better result at the end. But I think it ended up being a split or maybe a 4-1 or something for Lexis. So overall, I think it was a lot of good things that you can kind of take from this tournament there. And Yu Wu, I don't know if you saw Yu Wu. She's very good.
Yeah, she's got more experience than all of them too.
Exactly, the experience gap. You start seeing some of that.
There's a big experience gap with Yu Wu versus the rest of the 110s out there.
Yeah, and very, very noticeable, and that's what we ended up getting. So, all right, and my bracket, Zem Power brackets,
it's very slow. It's very slow.
Terrible. USA Boxing, please change this. We don't need these fancy things happening here.
Zim Power,
give me the old black and white.
And I think Zim Power is like a Canadian company, so
brother,
buy American.
54
kilos.
54 kilos. We had in the finals. We had Davison against Scarlett Delgado out of Canada.
Charlie
Charlie was,
Davidson is very experienced.
and you could tell, very experienced, and can fight. You know, she's right there in front of you, and keeps those hands down to make it seem like you kind of go after her. But
you could put her anywhere in that bracket, she still ends up in the final.
Yeah. She went through two of the three boxers that were in the 54 kilos with USA, which is Chermay, Patricio in the first round, and then Yoselin in the second round. Before going out to the finals. But experience, right? Experience, that was the biggest
been
difference.
On the international scene, let's say since like 2010 or something like that. She's been around. Like they've been documenting her since for the last 13 years.
Yeah. No, and you can tell. You can see it. It was a tall task, but it was good for the boxers to kind of test to see where they're at. Obviously, there's work to be done for both of the boxers that competed, for both Chermain and Yoselin. And it is what on the other side of the bracket, we had Kayla.
She has 48 international bouts.
48, yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do, and that's why it's so dominant. And the more you compete at the international level, the more you get comfortable with.
Yeah, she's 30 years old, has more experience than all these girls.
Exactly. So I have a feeling that the 54 kilo is going to have to go through Charlie for that medal.
So right now it's her, and I think there's another girl from like the Central Asia, but she's by far head and shoulders above everybody in this tournament.
Yeah, Kayla had a good tournament, and in the second bout ended up stopping her opponent. That opponent did not know how to protect from the right hand.
This person in the whole tournament, man.
It was one of those that couldn't get her guard up to save her life. It was just one right hand after another. They stopped it first round, big win. But then Kayla ended up going against Scarlett Delgado, which is a great boxer out of Canada, and ended up getting over past Kayla to the finals there at 54. 57. See how long it takes. The 57, we had Alyssa Mendoza.
Keep opening other windows, but it's taking forever.
Man. So Alyssa Mendoza had a bye as her first. She had the bye, and then competed against Elise Glynn out of Great Britain. Did you happen to see that bout?
Yeah. What do you think? She had a solution for Alyssa pressing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Alyssa didn't quite press as hard as she normally does. She kind of got to arm's length and kind of put on the brake a little bit and try to let her arms do the rest of the work. So, I wasn't a fan of the game plan in this one. She
exactly what you said. I think she stopped at exactly the wrong place where you want to stop. You're in that middle ground, and
you can't sit mid range.
You can't.
As soon as she decided to step forward, Lisa Glenn was just letting her hands go, and then she'd reposition herself, and then Alyssa had to pick up her feet, try to find her again,
right. And I think
too early.
Just constantly doing that, and the tie-ups and just kind of the holding that happened, kind of initiated by both. That I think started to kind of grow some frustration as well. Like you said, I think the game plan was the one that had the issue, because we've seen Alyssa Mendoza be real good, aggressive, in and out, like landing shot. And she had some spots and moments, but when you're competing against an international level boxer, range and everything is everything. And I think Elise just had much better control over that. She ended up going on to the tournament and beating Jusilene Romeu out of Brazil to claim the gold there. So, again, this is the first tournament since the Pan Ams, I believe. No, Italy. Alyssa had to compete in Italy.
Yeah, she competed.
So, and then this is preparation for Thailand, which is going to be coming up next, and we'll see if hopefully she can learn off that and get ready for the next one. So 60 kilos, the bracket loaded up pretty quickly. Man,
Mine didn't, so I'm catching up.
Lisa Greer had a great.
Oh, but go, Lisa, go.
Oh my goodness, she looked great. What was about? Let me see. I had
The first
some
or the
notes
second
here.
bout. I thought she won both. She got 3-2 win or 3-2 loss. Shout out to somebody that's only been boxing 2.5, 3 years.
Man, yeah, it was the first bout against Tyler McDonald out of Australia. By the way, shout out to the Australia crowd there. You could hear they were supporting their boxers, man. They were screaming, and you could hear it off the stream. But Lisa Greer did excellent, great punch selection, solid footwork. Man, if you didn't know who Lisa Greer was before this, you definitely should know because she is
built very
excellent.
strong, sturdy, like big arms. Yeah.
Yeah, great back and forth bout, and was able to. It was split. It was close, but did enough. 3-2 split to go on, and then competed against Gemma Richardson from Great Britain. Ended up taking a 3-2 loss in that one too. But that was also very close.
That one. So
yeah.
I don't. And then my favorite thing is when they raise Lisa's hands, she acts like she smiles like it's the greatest thing she's ever done ever.
Definitely. And you said what? 2.5 years?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years of just competing. Yeah,
against.
I think she's still under 20 fights or close to 20. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And doing this, yeah, she looks spectacular. If you guys didn't, I don't know. I don't even know if they're selling the bouts for this tournament. I haven't even checked or whatnot. But that, at least for sure, Lisa Greer against Tyler McDonald, great bout, great back and forth action. Man, a fan. Definitely. So we go over to 66, loading up here a little bit. We had two boxers from the U.S. At this bracket. We had Morel McCain and Stacia Suttles. Did you see either of them?
Yeah, I saw Mo's first bout where she was just going off, like pinned her up against the ropes.
Yeah.
I think it was against Liu Yang. And she was letting him go. She was letting him fly. And then I did see the semifinal bout, but if I'm not mistaken, Emin Khalif is the same person that stopped what was her name? Erica Skoog overseas too.
Oh, you know what? That might have been it. Yes, because she's Emin Khalif. She's been boxing for a long time, and she just has huge range and was able to. It was a very close bout. It was 3-2 split against Morel, and it could have really gone either way. Ended up going Emin or Khalif's way, and ended up kind of going and picking up the gold medal there. But Morel looked good. Obviously, I'm sure she would have wanted to get to the finals and get a shot at gold. Wasn't unable to get past the Algerian boxer. Stacia Suttles over there. I did see her bout against Emily Sonvico out of France. I thought she did good. It was a split. Again, it could have gone either way. She used her range, just movement. Stacia's long. She had was able to land, but Emily was just that much more aggressive. She was pressing. She was all over. And sometimes it takes just a couple of lands in those exchanges to really make a difference for some of the judges. So she was unable to advance past her first bout. But Morel.
I have to go back. So the thing I found Emin Khalif from Algeria. There are some characteristics. Like last year, she was almost banned from AIBA because there's some characteristics that say she should not be able to. So apparently she's transgender or something.
I looked into it. She is not, but she does have some.
Like dude.
Yeah, she just has. It's like a lot of people are saying Caitlin Clark has male features or whatever. It's just she's just very male featured. But I heard those rumors as well about a trans because I think she had knocked out a Mexican boxer. I forgot which tournament it was. Too, like cold. And unfortunately, media from Mexico started to kind of push it out there that she was trans and put all that stuff out there. But it is not true. That's just what it is.
I'm
At
looking
least for
at
the sources. Yeah, at least for the sources that I've been looking at,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Yeah, I got the first post where they're talking about how Aiba was trying to ban her or whatever.
Right, right. She's actually a spokesperson for UNICEF, the that world organization that helps out with, I think, providing water to other countries. So, you know, she's out there, and but her size and her physique will always have some
Oh
question
yeah,
marks.
she is pretty diesel.
Yes. So, and Morel did great against her, but
Yeah,
it was just some of those, like I said, real close, razor thin, 3-2. It could have gone either way. So
Yeah.
two judges had Morel winning. So that's just what it is. So let's go over to 75. We only had one U.S. boxer competing at this bracket. Naomi Graham ended up getting the bye the first day, competed against Chantel Reed the second day, and 5-0. Just kind of did her thing, and then went in against a boxer she's familiar with, and
dude,
Tamara
and I
Hibble.
swear to God, the gold medal is gonna go through Tamara Hibble.
Yeah, hands down for sure. The gold medal is going to go through her. So I know that Naomi has competed against Tamara a couple times, and of late has not been able to overcome her. They're going to have to figure out a game plan or something to figure out. But again, kind of like we were talking about Khalif,
I don't
Tamara has a big physique. She's
and Naomi's tall, and Tamara's bigger than Naomi,
and she's bigger than that. So it's like
bigger.
What I mean?
Also, I don't think Naomi boxes well off the back foot. That style that they teach at the OTC is not what made Naomi. And
yes.
She's a go-get-'em type of boxer and needs to kind of get back to that. Because every time you've seen her lose, she's been on her back foot trying to box.
Yeah, true. When she fought Citlali Ortiz, she was getting on her back foot. Yeah, it's and I hope they realize that. I can only guesstimate that this would be her last opportunity to get to Olympics and do all that.
I think she could go one more time if she felt like it.
Yeah,
because I think she's still. I think in 4 years she'll only be like 38, so she'll still be 2 years.
So she was gotcha.
But we don't have a 65 in this country that stands a chance.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Christine Forkins came up and she felt that she was too small for the weight class. So, and we're just talking about Tamara. Tamara is. You say we're bigger. Size does make a difference when you get up in the higher weight classes. So. So Naomi got to the semis and lost 5-0 there. So ended up coming back with a bronze at the International Invitational. Tamara picked up the gold against Caitlin Parker, another talented boxer out of Australia. That was a good bout as well between them two. But Tamara just knows how to box. That experience factor, it definitely came into play. So let's jump over to the males.
Hey, my fighter of the year, last year, this year so far, Terry Washington.
Hey, I was gonna say it. We didn't even talk, so this is not coordinated. Terry Washington. Oh my goodness, this guy.
That's a bad boy, man.
Yeah. Oh, man, and he just looked great against some tough competition. Won 3 times, beat Rajan Layden 3-1, the Philippines in the first round. Second round, Jai Dixon out of Australia, 5-0. And then against Michael Trindad, 3-2 split for Terry Washington. Man, shout out to the coach Ian Franklin out there. Did a great job with Terry Washington. And I mean, I'm just gonna say I would love to see him getting a shot to compete in Paris. Is he? I don't know. There was actually one question you might know. This camp, because of the whole Amir, and we're going to get to Amir answer. Amir and Raheem, that was supposed to be an evaluation camp for Thailand. I don't know if anybody else were afforded that look or selection, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they got the team, and that's what they're rolling with come Thailand. So I would have loved to see Terry Washington do his thing out there. I think he has a good style for the compete against the international, and he keeps on proving it. Pick up gold. I'm right there with you. He's probably my boxer of 2024 so far for sure, and even before that, he's just he didn't. Did he lose a round last year? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. Yeah.
I don't think he did. And so 51, which is always competitive. We always talk about these lighter weight classes. 112 is always a tough bracket. So let's go over to 57 kilos here. 125.
Francis Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some questions about. No knock on why they chosen Francis can fight. You know what I mean? But that's Jamal is your guy. He's qualified. Your guy who won the Olympic trials is not there. Julius Ballo, who's internationally medaled, is not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was
some of the picks from the roster were kind of left you scratching your head because you know that there's other boxers that are have been ranked above or whatever, or that were not
But
selected.
I'm not going to but I feel like Francis is more headed toward the pro style stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Paces a lot slower, throws bigger shots.
Yeah.
Not really accustomed to chasing people around.
Which is what you have to do with these boxers because they're always in the ball of their feet.
And as well tackle because they're not standing there long enough.
Yeah.
For you.
I mean, I would love to see Francis Stewart in this type of international tournaments more frequently. I think
he's got to do it more.
Yeah, he would have to just do it more, get that experience in it.
This
but
one
like
camp is not enough to teach him how to do this stuff.
Exactly.
Especially when he's probably not the focus in this camp. If you're doing an international camp, who's your focus? The guy you already have qualified for the Olympics.
Right. Everybody else is a sparring partner. Trying to get them right. But love to see it. Francis Stewart got international work. He'd probably be the first one to tell you he would have liked the come out a different way, but did his thing again.
They're probably going to have to try to put him on his toes, but I don't think he'd be willing to. Like that's not his style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, I think pros is probably more of what he's thinking. So we'll see.
It was a good look for him to be over there, though.
Yeah. Hey, you can tell him that he represented USA international tournament and did his thing there. So at 57, I was a little surprised. We're going over to 63.5 now. That Jamal was competing at 139 or 63.5 kilos. It just seemed when he was competing against Patrice from Grant, the size difference was just a little too much to overcome. What do you think?
Yeah, but like also, you need this kid to peak in late July, August. You know what I mean? He by far, I think he's our best shot at a medal on men or women's side. He's the best shot at gold on men or women's side. I think they didn't want him to cut all the weight, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But he's not very tall.
Yeah,
he's not very tall, dude. Still super explosive.
Yeah,
I think he can still punch with them. I think, and then you got to think about it. There's a weight class that sits in between those, so he went up 2 weights.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He probably, if this was 32, he probably would have fared much better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Agreed. Yeah,
just kind of a tiny dude.
Yeah, but you said he was so explosive, and he just had a longer, bigger boxer in front of him that was able to kind of touch him on the way in and not really let him to get off as much as he would had liked to. But let's go to the other side of the bracket. Dedrick Crocker. We were talking about Terry Washington having a great year. You know, he's right there with him.
Yeah, his style's a lot different. Matter of fact, Dedrick has quite a few styles that you can see. And the one that I always notice is that if he's behind or feels he's behind, he makes a fight real ugly real fast, and he's really good at it. Yeah. But he can box, and he throws volume.
Ooh. Yeah.
He throws a lot of volume. Yeah. Like, I don't think many people can quantity how many shots he can throw at that range.
Yeah. Yeah. No, volume, that's a key word. And, he's in a southpaw, so that always gives the opponents a little bit of a look. I think he can be kind of baited in at the kind of being on the inside and trading, when sometimes maybe it's suited better for him to just box and just kind of lead with lefts or just kind of jab, just kind of do some of the get those points, from your opponents. But like you said, especially when he feels like maybe he's behind on the cards or something, he will just stay right in front of you. And usually comes, lands a lot of good shots and does good, but allows the opponent to also land punches, and that's where he starts getting a little.
Yeah. Any word on why the British boxer Patras didn't compete?
No. I wanted to see how he was going to fare, but no, I don't know. I don't think he got a cut or anything on his way in there. I did not see the bout against Reese Lynch, also at Great Britain. So I'm not sure what the outcome was in that, but I'm not privy to what happened there. Yeah. So would I like to see it, but on finals Saturday, I just saw him go in there with jumpsuit or whatever. I'm like, he's not competing. So. But hey, he looked great against what's the guy's name? Jagar Altaf. That's a name right there. So out of Australia, he looked great. So I don't know. Do you think he sticks around? Maybe get a shot at the Olympics, or he's probably going pro, right? He's not sticking 4 years. Dedrick. Yeah,
he's a baby still. I think
maybe?
he's more.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do think there's got to be offers out there. But out of all of them, I think he's the baby. Yeah. And even though I think Fuentes might be a little younger than him, I don't know if Dedrick is as mature as him, especially fighting in a heavier weight. Got to start cracking a little bit harder, I think. Mm-hmm. Maybe cut that volume down just a little bit and put some sit on it. But I think they're capable of doing it. I just think they don't have it needed to do it yet.
Yeah. And do you know about Emilio? He didn't compete. Do you know, is he nursing something or?
I thought it was a jaw, but I'm not sure. Okay. I'll go ask again.
Yeah, no, just I would like to see him as well, because the last time we saw him, again, it was back at the Italy, right?
He got cut.
Yeah, so
we didn't see him in Italy.
Oh, we didn't see him in Italy because he did. That's right. He it was all the way back to the Pan Am. So I don't know. We'll see. It would have been nice to see them compete, but we didn't. So that's what it is. Going over the 71 kilos, Keon Davis had a good tournament. That's a good boxer right there.
He has good same side blocks and takes away the encounters. Man, they got a good highlight of it. I thought it was great. Probably needs a little more international competition, but being who his brothers are, I don't think he really gives it. He's gonna go. The opportunities are endless for him on the other side. Yeah, he's around all pros all the time. So, I actually feel like USA Boxing Camp is a step back for him.
Yeah, no.
Especially knowing he can't qualify anymore.
Exactly. So I was actually surprised to see him at camp over there, but getting this international work here,
get to spar those guys,
and they had almost everybody sparred each other beforehand before this tournament, so it was kind of like a sparring and then the actual bout, and then tournament. He ended up going all the way to the finals, and then ended up with a 4-1 loss to Nikolai Terterayan.
Whatever.
But yeah, Keon Davis, that was a good look. He looked great, and we're probably gonna see him in the pros soon right after this the whole Olympic cycle. Let's go over to 80 kilos. Man, this was the finals matchup I was looking and waiting to see, and it didn't happen, man. Oh my goodness. It was the cut. Raheem had received the cut with his bout against Vanderlei Pereira, and essentially that is what pretty much walkover win for Amir at that point. Amir looked good too. He looked good. I think Raheem looked good as well. It would have been an interesting matchup, and I was disappointed that it didn't happen. That's where it is. So But that's it. And you know, we've talked plenty of what's happened at the 8 kilo bracket or spot for the
That's the
Olympics.
most drama-filled weight class in the world right now.
Man, it is. And this the clarifier, a lot of people following because it's like a drawn out drama. Samir Anderson was back in camp, and since Raheem did not qualify in Italy, this camp was supposed to be a evaluation camp for the person, the boxer, to be selected to go to Thailand. USA Boxing has picked Raheem back in like January to go to Thailand and Italy, so it was all for naught. It was all more for experience for Amir Anderson to do his thing and really showcase. He looked good against Eric Mendoza out of Sweden. He looked good against Taylor Bevan out of Great Britain. I think those are the things he's going to take away from this. USA Boxing was just not being fair as to what opportunity he was being offered. Because I would love to see the matchup, because I think whoever wins the matchup would have argued to be able to go to Thailand, but it didn't happen. And Raheem will try to get another shot in Thailand for the Olympics. Let's go over to 92. We had two boxers, Jamar Talley and is it Daniel Brown? I haven't seen.
Daniel.
Yeah. I did see his bout. It looked like a pro bout from the get go. Daniel, he was ready to he was swinging. He was trying to take out Machado down. And the thing that I noticed, I'm like, who is this bout? Because I'm like, I haven't seen him. And I saw a bald spot. I'm like, no, I would have known who this boxer is. But he was in there and he was making it entertaining. But Keno Machado was able to just outbox him. He ended up going all the way to the finals. Ended up picking up gold. Unfortunately, I did not see Jamar Talley. Did you see his bout?
No, but it was a DQ, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, DQ. Okay. And he had a bye before, so not a lot of whole thing happening here at 92 kilos for the USA team. Keno Machado of Brazil ended up taking gold. So 92 plus. We had Stephen Williams compete first tournament against this monster of a man
out
of Australia. This guy, he's one of those that jumps, steps over all the ropes kind of guy, man.
And he's so strong. And you look at his box rec, he's got mostly RSC wins.
Man.
Yeah.
and you can tell this guy who has
and the only person to ever beat, and the only two losses he has that or the people that beat him are Olympians.
Okay.
So Teixeira has beat him, the Brazilian, but the only person to ever stop him and is as big as he is, if not bigger, is Bakhtir Jalolov, who won the Olympic gold medal last time.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and he's a 4-0 pro. A lot of people don't know. And
okay, man. Talk about just the power is just immense.
And then he's returned fire on Teixeira every time. You know what I mean? So Teixeira beat him early in his career, and he stopped Teixeira every time after that.
Oh man. Yeah, Terramoana. So first name.
That BoxRec have him as Terramoana Jr.
There you go, Terramoana out of Australia. Just this guy is a big guy. Unfortunately for Stephen Williams, who had a just crazy knockout. I think it was at the trials. Was just smaller. Got caught. You get caught by a man that big, it's not going to do good. He ended up getting 2 RSCs, got a gold, and
dude, he's so big, so strong.
Man,
he might be if Jalolov comes back to Olympics, if it's allowed.
Yeah,
it'll be them two. Especially if they're on two different sides of the bracket, they're just gonna knock everybody out on their way to the finals.
And that's who he reminded me of when I saw him, Jalolov. I'm like, these guys seem like they probably just, man. It'll be a massive bout there. So that's pretty much what we had. The International Invitational was the second time that they held it here in the same location, Pueblo. What is it? The same
Same venue,
arena, same everything, same venue. Okay, so so I don't know. It may be a reoccurring thing.
it
It'll
seems
be
like it is.
which is great to get, especially the the sparring partner, the number two guys get some work in and compete against.
And then I think it works out because you have so many of the other governing NGBs headed towards Charlotte that kind of leaves a lot more room for USA Boxing and their side projects and camps and stuff they want to do here. But they are going to kind of move to the East and the West Coast too. They're going to be at Chula Vista and Charlotte.
Really, I did hear something about Charlotte. So that is
and so I don't know if USA Boxing is one of the governing bodies that's headed that way.
But there was
But there are some that have already took off over there, and their performance is called the U.S. Performance Center. It's a nice place. They're the people that help us put on the college nationals in Charlotte too. So yeah, they're eager to do business.
Sweet, nice. Yeah, I read something about that. I didn't follow up to see if it was happening, but we'll see what USA Boxing does. But good to see. So that's pretty much all we got. It's pretty much just a recap of what has happened. I did, I wasn't able to read into it that much, but do you know what this boxing fantasy camp is all about? They announced it last week. And
can you hear me?
Money, yes.
Money, yeah, there's money. It's $5,900 or $6,000 if you make 2 payments for 3 days. So
this is just wild to me. I think there's 20 slots, right, that they're gonna have, and it's at the end of September. It's like a 3-day camp. And that $6,000 or whatever does not cover your flight or anything else. It's just you being at the facility and kind of going through these camps. It's yeah. I mean, I don't see any. I couldn't come to another conclusion that it's just the money. It's a fundraising type situation here. I will be curious to see who actually is going to go there.
$18,000 they'll make if they pay $5,900. If everybody pays the $6,000, so you just add an extra 100 on top of all of that. So,
oh my goodness, yeah, I don't know. We'll discuss that. I have my thoughts on that.
And granted, I'm pretty sure this is honestly an all money out operation. You know what I mean? They're dependent on donations and things like this. I think $6,000 is steep. You know what I mean? But
oh yeah,
you know what I mean. Plus whatever, because they're a tenant at the OTC. So if you want to, they've got to pay to house these people at the dorms. They got to pay for the meal plan down at the cafeteria there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Plus they got to pay for flights back and forth. Plus they got to take these people. So they've got to raise money. I just think. I don't know what boxers they're going to attract for that, but it's necessary. What they're doing is necessary. I don't know who's going to pay $6,000. You know, boxing has always been like the poor man's sport.
Right. Right.
So they price the boxers out. Especially if we're going to go to a national coming up soon, you know, they've kind of priced the boxers out of it. So this is probably for like the Joes versus pros type of thing. Like,
oh man, you know, I can see some of them YouTube boxers or whatever try to influence. I mean, you already got Jake Paul in there, man. I wouldn't be surprised if it attracts that type of.
They might have to, and that might work for them, so they can receive more funds.
Yeah,
but it's necessary. Like. They have to raise money. It's an all money out operation. They're pretty much running. So
I think
plus they gotta pay some pretty expensive salaries up there too.
Oh,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. And for every, there's a nonprofit. So all this info is out there. All the financials of what goes in and out, what needs to happen is out there. If you guys are curious, I think in the comments, Baby Bug is saying that they received an invitation for the camp, but it was way too much money, and it says to leave my regular coaching training to go and experience something new. When I know the hard work I'm gonna
Yeah.
get
She's
from
already
training.
winning.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
she don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Was she a junior?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, yeah. So
Well, she'll probably be there next year or later this year. They'll see her.
You just
in the
gotta
troop assistant camp. Yeah, she'll be getting it. Then she only has to go down the road a few hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'd
Exactly.
be cheaper to do that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
winning.
she's doing it the right way, right? You win, you go to the tournament. You don't pay $6,000 and then go to, or I mean, to go to the camp. I mean, so I don't know. But they got to pay the bills, so they got to do it somehow. I don't know, Lisa. I'm curious to see what happens. A lot of time from now until September, so we'll see who it attracts and what kind of things we're going to be happening here. So, but that's all we got. The tournament, like I said, was interesting. I did make sure to point out that anybody who kind of wants to see themselves competing international or try to be at that level should have been watching this tournament. This tournament was a lot of high skill in there. And
there's a national in Mexico going on right now because Carlos Morales is down there.
Carlos Morales is always down there.
Yeah, he got the win yesterday, I believe.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
And then there's a tournament happening in Kazakhstan starting on Saturday. Kayas and Mayas are going to go represent Afghanistan over there. And then the two brothers that are at a triple threat. And then they're going to Thailand as part of the Afghan contingent. So
yeah, there's a lot of work. You remember Sinat Firdos? She was in.
Yeah, she killed it in South Africa at the
South. She was out there. Like she going to all these tournaments to gain all this experience.
And she gives some hardware too, though, man.
Man, definitely. We'll see if we can try to get her back on. There's a lot of international things happening, and if you're able to see them, watch it. I think you'll start seeing what do they mean when they say international stuff. It's different. It's a whole different world. So, all right, Coach, that's all we got. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the end of the episode here. We'll be back and just continue. This is the only podcast solely dedicated to amateur boxing. Coach Harry, you have a good night. Everybody,
too, man.
Go get some food because I'm hungry.
On my way, yeah.